Hi, it's Tootie Tagerly live from San Francisco, Tuesday at noon. And today I'm celebrating me because I hit the noon time, which is a wonderful thing. So whether you're on live or replay, speaking to all of you. Um, I've been really focused this week on negotiations and offer negotiations because I'm supporting three one-on-one clients through pretty in-depth offer negotiations, and also supporting some other clients that I coach on a one-off basis through their final stages of offers. And I'll have to mention, because this is important and there's more than this that's important. So I've been supporting women in offer negotiations and um, really trying to figure out how they truly get what they're worth for probably 2 decades now. And it's really because I believe in making sure that women and people of color start to close this salary gap. For college educated women in the United States, we make about 75 cents to a dollar for a man. And it's even worse for women of Latinx or African American backgrounds. And one of the biggest hurdles is that women don't ask. So what I do in my support and offer negotiation support is help people ask more for what they're worth. Oops, dropped my sticky here. But what I've learned, what my clients have taught me this week is that, yes, they have asked for and received unbelievable returns on both base salary, signing bonus, stock options, the core things that matter. But what really stands out to me is that the negotiation process isn't just about money. It's about the dance. It's about the understanding who this company you might be working for is. And it's about seeing how they respond when you ask for stuff that really matters to you. One of the women that I work with, she received 3 different offers and we worked on negotiations on all of them. But ultimately, what is moving her heart the most is the fact that she's a LGBTQ leader. And she was able to work through real-time live with a Series B startup to ask for and is in progress of shifting their benefits policies because there was unequal treatment between cis, straight, male, female couple who was wanting to have kids around family planning benefits and what's offered for someone who is not straight, cis. This was magical to be that this is something that she cared about. She cared about diversity, she cared about inclusion, and there was a personal angle to it as well. This is what she and her partner had been working towards. The magic in the negotiation wasn't the salary and the stock increase, but it was this conversation that happened between her and the people on the startup who were willing to have this conversation, who were horrified that they had never seen this loophole, this omission in their benefits provider, and were working to address this together. Another story that maybe is a little close to my heart because I'm thinking about it too is that another client of mine received 2, might be getting a third. I do understand that I and some of the clients I support are very lucky and entitled to be working in tech. Amazing offers. They bumped up again, base salary, signing bonus, stock, equity. But what really mattered to her, especially now after we've been through a little over a year of this global pandemic, what really mattered to her was being able to spend time working in China, where her parents and some of her other relatives are. And that was the negotiation part. That was what really mattered to her on top and beyond the money. So a lot of this was in conversations with the different companies who has very strict security policies, which makes sense around being able to carry laptops into China and do that work, and who's willing to maybe be more forgiving and more flexible. As for me personally, I'm trying to figure out right now if it might be possible to go to Thailand to see some of my family. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's expensive to be in a 14-day quarantine. However, it's more than that. It's like the stuff that matters beyond that, being able to see family, being able to have my kids see their grandmother, all of that. So in this conversation about negotiation, what really matters, I wanted to hone in on three things. And these are the themes and trends that I've seen from working with people negotiating for many, many years. And the three things that matter are freedom, relationships, and legacy. These are the three basic things that everyone cares about, one or multiple of these. In an article that I believe came out of England, I'll link to it later on. There is a Guardian article that talks about the top 5 top 5 regrets, not requests, top 5 regrets of the dying. And they're all related in some form or another to these first two, freedom and relationships. So if I talk about freedom, one of the top regrets of the dying is I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to me. I wish that I'd done the things that I wanted. I wish that I was able to just have the freedom to live the life that I want. So that was the regret. A second part of it is I wish I had a second regret is I wish I hadn't worked so hard. And I support a ton of high performers, hard workers. Nobody ever said, I wish I'd worked longer. I wish I'd worked more. I wish I'd done more to get that startup to the successful exit. It's always, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Because there is a freedom. We believe that there is a freedom in making that next million, that next 10 million, that next 100 million, whatever it is. But I know a lot of unhappy millionaires and billionaires. So freedom really is, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I'd spent more time on some of the other things. Continuing this theme of freedom, relationships, and legacy, the second part, continuing the top 5 regrets of the dying, it's also, I wish I'd spent more time in touch with friends. And then the next one is, I wish I'd had the courage to express more of my feelings. And both of these mattered in negotiation because so much of the time you're spending is understanding what your relationship with this company is going to be. It's understanding that when you ask for a thing, what is your prospective boss going to say back? It's understanding if you like the coworkers, if you want to spend a lot of your working hours with them. And it's also understanding, it's not making the ask and seeing the response. It's not the actual response. Sometimes it is, but it's more the way that they explain something. And I'm going to go back quickly because I think I skipped on this for freedom and negotiation. Part of it, and I could see this in one of my clients, which really negotiated for the ability to work from China, is that yes, there's money, but more is the flexibility and freedom to do what you want and live your life within the context of this relationship, of this work relationship. And then the last regret of the dying is I wish I'd let myself be happier. So I want to talk about where I talked about freedom, I talked about relationships, 2 things that really matter in negotiation. I want to talk about the last thing, which is legacy. And this was not covered in the 5 regrets of dying. Yet I hear this a lot with the clients that I serve because many of us are in technology. We are hard chargers. We're driven by growth and impact. And we do a lot of the work we do because we want to make an impact on the world. We want to be able to change the world in some way and leave it a better place through the use of technology, through building products, through enabling, whether it's a consumer to do things better or businesses to get things done better in some way. I think that this is a little bit of the ephemeral thing that you're negotiating for or thing that you're choosing in your decisions, which is, am I choosing to work at this particular company because they're offering me a lot of money? And that is not a bad thing. There are many periods in your life where you are making the decision just for money. However, so much more is the other part. What am I going to spend my time doing? Am I working for a company whose mission I really care about? In that company whose mission I really care about, are the products that I work on, the space that I work in, going to be something that I'm proud of? What about the people around me? What does it feel like to be in a place where everyone's working here pretty much because of the money? I worked a terrible job once. I only stayed there for 3 months. It was for a major bank, and I was running an innovation team there. But it was the first time that I worked at a place where people signed off at 5 o'clock. We might be in the middle of a conversation trying to solve and do something, but it was like 5 o'clock, I'm done. And this wasn't to, get to their kids' soccer game or anything else. It was like, it's a 9 to 5 job, coming in, doing this, and I'm done. So, in negotiation, think about what really matters to you and what you really want. Money does matter. And as women, and as a woman of color, you've got to ask. You have no control of whether they're going to say yes or no, but you've got to simply make the ask. That'll make a little small step. But more than that, think about what really matters to you. Think about what the fit and the match and the job is, and think about it on these 3 dimensions across the notion of freedom, relationships, and legacy. And I think that's the key to negotiation and getting what you really want. All right, bye for now. See you next week.